Ever wondered why that cup of coffee gives you a sudden burst of energy? It's all thanks to the magical powers of caffeine. Caffeine is the planet's most widely consumed psychoactive substance, found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, and even chocolate. But what exactly does it do to the body? In this video, we will explore the fascinating effects of caffeine on our bodies and uncover the science behind it all. From boosting alertness to enhancing athletic performance, it has numerous impacts on our physical and mental well-being. But it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Too much caffeine can lead to jitters, restlessness, and even insomnia. Therefore, it's important to understand both the benefits and potential downsides of consuming it and how it affects different individuals. How does caffeine affect the body? Caffeine is a stimulant that affects the central nervous system. When consumed, it quickly gets absorbed into the bloodstream and reaches the brain. Once in the brain, it blocks the action of adenosine, a neurotransmitter that promotes sleep and relaxation. By blocking adenosine, it increases neural activity, leading to heightened alertness and improved focus. Additionally, caffeine triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This release of dopamine contributes to the feelings of well-being and happiness often associated with caffeine consumption. Caffeine also stimulates the adrenal glands, which release adrenaline. Adrenaline is the hormone responsible for the fight-or-flight response, which increases heart rate, blood pressure, and overall energy levels. The positive effects of caffeine. Caffeine offers a range of benefits that contribute to our daily lives. One of the most well-known effects of caffeine is increased alertness and wakefulness. By blocking adenosine receptors, caffeine keeps us feeling awake and focused, making it easier to tackle tasks and stay productive throughout the day. In addition to increased alertness, it has been shown to improve cognitive function, including memory, attention, and reaction time. Studies have also found that caffeine can enhance physical performance, making it a popular choice for athletes and those engaging in high-intensity workouts. It has also been associated with a reduced risk of certain diseases, such as Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and liver disease. It may also have a protective effect against certain types of cancer, including liver and colorectal cancer. The negative effects of caffeine. While caffeine offers many benefits, it's important to be aware of its potential negative effects. One of the most common side effects of consuming too much caffeine is the jitters or restlessness. This can be accompanied by increased heart rate, anxiety, and difficulty sleeping. Excessive caffeine consumption can also lead to dehydration. It is a diuretic, which means it increases urine production and can contribute to fluid loss. It's important to stay hydrated when consuming caffeine to counteract this effect. Caffeine can also have an impact on heart health. In some individuals, excessive caffeine intake can cause increased heart rate, palpitations, and even irregular heart rhythms. It's important to monitor your caffeine consumption if you have any pre-existing heart conditions or are sensitive to the effects of caffeine. Caffeine and sleep. One of the most significant impacts of caffeine on the body is its effect on sleep. As mentioned earlier, caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, which promotes wakefulness. This can make it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep, especially if consumed close to bedtime. The half-life of caffeine, which is the time it takes for the body to eliminate half of the caffeine, can vary from person to person. On average, it takes about 5-6 hours for the body to eliminate half of the caffeine consumed. However, this can be influenced by factors such as age, liver function, and genetics. It's important to be mindful of your caffeine intake and consider cutting back or avoiding caffeine altogether if you're experiencing difficulty sleeping or have a sensitive sleep schedule. Caffeine and dehydration. As mentioned earlier, caffeine is a diuretic, which means it increases urine production. This can contribute to fluid loss and potentially lead to dehydration if not properly balanced with adequate fluid intake. While moderate caffeine consumption is unlikely to cause significant dehydration, it's important to be mindful of your overall fluid intake. Remember to drink enough water throughout the day to stay hydrated, especially if you're consuming caffeinated beverages regularly. Caffeine and heart health. Caffeine has been a topic of interest when it comes to heart health. While moderate caffeine consumption is generally considered safe for most individuals, excessive intake can have an impact on heart rate and blood pressure. In individuals with pre-existing heart conditions or those who are sensitive to the effects of caffeine, excessive intake can cause increased heart rate, palpitations, and even irregular heart rhythms. It's important to monitor your caffeine intake if you have any concerns about your heart health. Caffeine tolerance and addiction. Over time, our bodies can develop a tolerance to caffeine, meaning we need higher doses to achieve the same effects. This can lead to increased consumption and potentially dependency on caffeine. Caffeine addiction is a recognized condition and can cause withdrawal symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. It's important to be mindful of your caffeine consumption and consider taking breaks or reducing your intake if you're experiencing any signs of dependency. How to consume caffeine responsibly. 1. Limit your daily intake. It's recommended to consume no more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is roughly equivalent to 4 cups of coffee. Be mindful of other sources of caffeine, such as tea, energy drinks, and chocolate, and consider your overall intake from all sources. 2. Time your consumption. Avoid consuming caffeine too close to bedtime, as it can interfere with sleep. Aim to have your last caffeinated beverage at least 6 hours before bedtime to allow your body time to eliminate the caffeine. 3. Stay hydrated. Counteract the diuretic effects of caffeine by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Aim for at least 8 cups of water daily to stay properly hydrated. 4. Listen to your body. Pay attention to how caffeine affects you personally. If you notice any negative side effects, such as jitters, anxiety, or sleep disturbances, consider reducing your intake or cutting back altogether. 5. Take breaks. Consider taking regular breaks from caffeine to prevent tolerance and potential dependency. This can also help you assess your reliance on caffeine and its impact on your overall well-being.